No, the stuff in the beginning that we always have to cut out. Shit.
It's here again.
It's here again, once again. Last time on Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if I'm doing a parody of myself now or the guy.
Or the guy. Can you really do a parody of the guy? You can't overdo it because he's already overdoing it, but in the best way.
Mm-hmm. Nappa came to the planet, with Vegeta also, and he destroyed a whole bunch of stuff, and then Goku finally got to the end of Snake Way, beat the living shit out of Nappa. Gohan was still a bitch, somehow. Here we are! This time! On this episode of Dragon Hates Eric Ball Z! Dragon Hates Eric Ball Z!
Welcome to Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z, a Dragon Ball Z rewatch podcast. I'm Spencer.
Oh my god, I thought you forgot your name for a minute. I'm John.
And today we're going to look at episodes 31 through 35, and arguably, I mean, we could debate it at the end of this episode, but come to the end of the Saiyan saga.
The end.
Yeah. Episode 31. The American title is Saiyan-Sized Secret. The Japanese title is Now Goku, a final technique with everything on the line.
Can I just say how much I enjoy the Japanese titles?
They're really good.
For being nothing like any title I've ever heard, ever.
Yeah.
Because the way I'm kind of doing it is sort of in the vein of It's Always Sunny. The gang meets
does this thing.
whatever. But I've never heard a title quite so... It's like a 6-year-old kid made these titles. Just so excited, and he wants to tell you exactly what happens in the episode. You gotta get it out. Go kick the end of the Snake Way!
Piccolo dies!
Piccolo dies!
Is this for every anime?
I'm not sure, because I don't watch anime, but I do make titles for these episodes, and my title is the one where everything everybody said about this show's screaming comes true.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a little unfortunate. So we open like right where the last episode left off, almost as if like they just ran out of time and had to cut halfway through.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like 2 seconds later, and Goku's used his special Kaioken technique, but he said ×3, and King Kai's really mad that he said ×3.
No,
because nobody's supposed to say it. And so like it opens with like a huge long thing with Goku screaming his voice out. Not literally, that comes later.
Yes, and I actually made a note. You can kind of tell that Schemmel isn't quite used to screaming this much yet, because there's some real strain in his voice.
Yeah.
It works because it comes across as Goku screaming, and he's not quite used to the amount of screaming he has to do in his life.
He hasn't done this much before. That's
right. This is third time super screaming, I guess.
But it also is not as full, as robust, as it will come to be later.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you listen to some metal bands when they're screaming in the beginning, it's really like tinny, and they don't quite have that fullness. They haven't learned that they have a diaphragm because they're like 17, and then they get older, and 3 albums in, they have just, oh my God, this is the scream I was hoping was on your first album when you could actually write music. But now that you've forgotten how to write music, you've got a good scream. So now I don't know what I like. That was too specific.
It was a little specific. It's hard to track.
Yeah.
But it is weird to me that he's like, speaking of first albums, Sean Schemmel, this is like one of the first time he does it as Goku. And it was 30 years ago.
That's right.
Like he still voices Goku today. The Dragon Ball Super Broly movie just came out last year. And he did the voice for Goku, and it sounds the same. Like he's had so much practice and time to develop the screaming, the powering up of Goku.
It's an important scream.
Yeah.
Also, it's nice seeing the show that I remember as a kid. This kind of right off the bat, like screaming and then fighting is what I remember.
Yeah.
Whether or not that holds up past 1 minute, let's find out.
It is changing a lot since we started this podcast.
It really, really is.
But this is the first time that it's really focused on the transformation part as he's doing the Kaioken. Like his muscles bulge.
Oh,
and he starts to like sweat and veins pop out.
He starts steaming.
Yeah, he starts steaming and there's lightning. So my note is like, yeah, that whole Kaioken ×3 thing was probably pretty good advice that he didn't follow.
Yeah, because his muscles, he's so swole.
It's like a monster's gonna pop out of him. Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's awful. He looks like a pink Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, he does. He turns red. He turns a little bit red.
It's weird.
At the end of it, it's so crazy. And this, I forgot halfway through this episode, but right now, Kaioken is technically an attack.
Right.
Because he does it again a couple minutes later, And I'm like, wait, but he already powered up. But it's not a power up, it's an attack.
Right.
So he's using the attack right now. And I'm really curious if there's less screaming when he goes Super Saiyan for the first time. Because it's a lot in this scene. And
yeah.
I don't feel like it was this much, but I haven't seen the actual episode in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a very, very long time. There's much more monologuing, if I remember right.
That's
Maybe
what I feel like,
true.
yeah.
There was way more monologuing and probably an equal amount of screaming, but that's what we're here to find out.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
That's what this is. It's a little sampler, I guess. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, that's what it is.
It's true. So after he powers up, I mean, does his attack, him and Vegeta start fighting, and it's actually pretty cool.
It is.
It's like a really good cinematography during this fight. Goku's going kind of nuts, and Vegeta's just trying to do his best to get away from him. And there's like a scene where it's got some really cool camera movement where Vegeta is powering up a blast. He's trying to hit Goku, and he's like leading the shot because Goku's in the distance flying across the sky, and he misses, I'm pretty sure. But
Vegeta tries to counter after Goku's initial hit. He really tries, and then he gets knocked in the face really good.
Yeah.
And it's
satisfying.
It's not as satisfying as watching Goku beat the daylights out of Nappa.
Well, because Vegeta hasn't done anything at this point.
But it's still cool to see Goku being a badass. He's the hero of the show, and really, up until this point, you haven't seen him being the hero of the show. You watch him get his ass kicked against Raditz, and then get shot through the heart, and then watch a snake girl get blasted in the head with a revolver, and then train under a weird locust.
But even like that, you didn't see, like, he was just running. You didn't actually see him try to use the spirit bomb. You didn't actually see him try to like do Kaioken. Yeah. Like,
nope.
It was just him with a hammer and running after a monkey.
That's right.
Like, yes. it was jolly. It was slapstick.
Yeah. And so here we're seeing him be Superman.
Yeah.
Kind of the Superman equivalent.
Like an angry Superman.
It's like if the first 30 episodes of Superman whatever.
So they fight for a little bit, and then Vegeta gets pissed, and he gets blasted under a pile of rocks. He lands on a mountain, and the mountain collapses on top of him, and he gets pissed, so he starts screaming his own special scream, and he's able to blast away the entire mountain around him.
Which is pretty cool. Shows how
it's pretty
strong
neat.
He can be, but also we just watched him get his ass handed to him a bunch, so it's not that scary.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, he's not as threatening right now.
Yeah,
yes. We're just waiting for him to get wailed on more. So up until this point, like, there is no dialogue in the entire episode. Nobody's said a thing. There's just like grunting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it cuts back to Kami House really close around here. But yeah, between Goku and Vegeta, it's just grunts. It's a really long fight scene with no dialogue, and it's cool because the show hasn't done it before.
It's nice. It's nice seeing the show that I remember as a kid.
Yeah, except now there's blood.
There
wasn't blood when I watched it when I was a kid. It was censored.
Yeah.
It was the same when they went to hell. The shirts were
Heffel.
Yeah.
H-I-F-I-L.
Home for Infinite Losers.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Is that really what they...
That was the name of the Ocean dub. The original, before Funimation, they called it Home for Infinite Losers. Like, that was like, I don't know, the title of the episode or something like that.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it stuck around. Anyway. So they fight. It goes back to Kami House. They can't get a signal on Baba's crystal ball. And obviously the TV crew has all been killed. And they've also moved away from that spot. So Bulma and Chi-Chi and the Ox King and everybody are just like, what's going on? Are they still alive? We don't know. So they're like, oh yeah, Goku's going to kill Vegeta. It's going to be fine. And Roshi's like, I don't know, guys. A candle flickers violently right before it goes out, which is a really cool line. And then it's followed up. Somebody asks him, are you talking about Goku? And he says, no, I'm talking about candles. But he delivers it. He doesn't quite deliver it with the amount of sarcasm it deserves. And so for a second, I didn't know whether to take him seriously or not, but it was a great line. It was a good comeback.
It was really good, actually. So then we cut back to them. Vegeta's furious. Because I'm a Saiyan elite. I'm the best of the cream of the crop of the best.
Yeah,
sir.
He calls Goku a low-class Saiyan, which is really cool.
A low-class Saiyan. I'm going to show you my big beam cannon thing. And he jumps up into the air and he starts charging his big beam cannon laser, which is called the garlic gun.
No, it's Gatlic gun.
We all know it's garlic gun.
Your garlic gun. He doesn't name an attack garlic gun.
Well, it is.
It doesn't make any sense.
Gallic is fine, though.
Gallic is at least a word that they could have on Planet Vegeta for something.
They speak English.
So you're just saying garlic is, for us, a delicious herb, and for them is some kind of like super powerful fight move.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
All right. Yeah. So he charges his garlic cannon, and Goku realizes, oh, this is going to be bad. He's going to blow up the whole planet.
Yeah. Vegeta gives this monologue where he's like, I'm going to charge up this blast and you can try to stop it and die, or you can dodge it and the whole planet's going to explode. And Goku's wiped pretty much at this point.
Yeah, he's tired.
The Kaioken's worn off and he's super tired, which I really like that there's some kind of physical consequence, even if it's only in words, for like using that stuff.
Yes.
Because we've heard about it for the past like 3 episodes, I feel like.
We haven't seen it yet.
And we haven't seen it yet.
Also, probably should have said this at the beginning. Major epilepsy warning for this episode.
Oh my God. It was really, really nuts.
It was the flashing. It's not red and green flashing, which I guess are the main triggers for epilepsy, which is why that Pokemon episode was so bad. But this one is just black and white flashing as Vegeta's charging his laser beam, and it's on the screen for maybe 15 seconds of flashing. It's a lot of flashing.
So much. This episode is bad for that.
Oh, good Lord.
One coming up that's not worse, but still pretty bad.
Yes. So Goku decides that the only thing he could possibly do is...
Oh, yeah. My note is, oh my God, epilepsy. Yeah, there.
Yeah, it's a big problem. Goku decides the only way that he can handle this is by taking this head on. Goku charges up his laser, his Kamehameha.
Which is cool because it's like the principal moves of the two fighters.
Yeah.
We haven't really gotten to know Vegeta yet, but as a longtime fan, it's cool to see this part.
Because it is Gallic Gun.
In the translation.
In the yes. So Vegeta's Gallic Gun is his special move. That's what he uses for even all the way into Super. He continues to use Gallic Gun, which is really cool because halfway through Z, it's a little different. So Goku charges up his Kamehameha. He goes ×3 again so that he can withstand this giant beam. And they have in the show, I think it is maybe, I don't know about Dragon Ball, but the first beam clash, beam struggle of Dragon Ball Z, where they both fire the giant laser at each other, and it's visually stunning.
Oh,
and amazing.
What was my note? Gallic Gun versus Kamehameha is awesome.
Iconic.
The colors, the yelling, it's like watching testosterone. Yeah, but the beams hit at the same time, the blue and the purple, and they both struggle against each other. Which one's going to absorb the other one?
And Vegeta, it cuts back to him. He says, I can't believe he's actually resisting my Gallic Gun. It's like, really, dude? He was beating the shit out of you earlier. Why do you think that
But this is his special move.
Yeah, I have a name for this one.
Yeah, so it's
maybe
it's
if he named his punches and kicks, they'd be going better. I guess not. Jeez, learn turtle style.
These are my fists, salt and pepper.
Prepare for the seasoning.
Oh,
is that good?
Okay.
I don't know.
It's getting better. It's better than garlic.
It's the same thing.
But now it's a theme.
Okay, that's true.
It cuts to Yajirobe for a second during this, and he's like, man, I just wish that I could go home and eat pizza and ice cream instead of watching this. I hate Yajirobe.
I totally forgot
I'm so sorry about this episode because I'm just going to say how much I hate Yajirobe over and over again. But he's just standing there for some reason watching all this, and he doesn't want to be there, but he doesn't leave either. And nobody knows he's there, and it doesn't matter. I'm so mad at Yajirobe. Go ahead.
First beam struggle cuts back to Kame House, and the crystal ball, there's so much power happening that the crystal ball starts electrifying the entire house. The crystal ball is like channeling some of the energy, and lightning arcs around Kame House and zaps people, and they're like, oh my God, it's so freaking strong. Goku realizes he's potentially not going to win this, and he decides, why don't I just add another number to my Kaioken? So he goes, Kaioken ×4, and it fucking blasts Vegeta off into Team Rocket Land.
Yeah, it's great. He just says Kaioken ×4 out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I can't remember it happens for sure, but I really hope that King Kai somewhere was just like, no!
Well, at that point, the seal's already broken, right?
Yeah, so who cares?
Yeah, it's ruined. You've ruined the Kaioken, you dick.
Yeah.
He's blasted off into the sky, up above the cloud cover, and he just rolls off the Kamehameha. He just rolls off of it like you're rolling out of bed with a hangover.
Yeah, he's okay.
He gets all upset and angry.
He is the Saiyan Prince.
He does that for a minute. He has I'm the Saiyan Prince. I'm the best.
Yeah. Vegeta's pride is going to be a subject of constant
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It always gets in his way, and it's always a motivating factor for every choice that he makes.
Mm-hmm. Vegeta is pride.
Yep. My note is Vegeta's pride problem starts now. There's a shot where he's like riding the Kamehameha before he rolls off it, where he is just being pushed through the clouds, and it's kind of awesome. It's a good looking shot.
It's a good shot. I do very much enjoy that he's just riding on it.
Yeah.
Like
he's not getting blasted.
Is that how beams work?
I don't think so, because in a lot of the show you get absorbed and then you just sort of get disintegrated.
Yeah,
in the
you get
center
disintegrated
of it.
and melted off.
Yeah.
I don't. It's a weird science. Beams.
Yeah, let's go into the science.
Let's go into the science of beams later on. Beams? No, let's not do that. We'll do it later on when we have more beams to compare
Yeah,
to. Because
exactly.
it's an interesting
but
thing,
it's of
honestly.
note at this point. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there is a part in this scene where I don't know exactly how it happens. I think Goku might be looking at Vegeta or Yajirobe, but like there's a close up of his face, and he moves one eye to focus on the other character. It's so
I don't remember
weird.
this.
He's looking straight with one eye, and then he looks left with the other eye.
Ugh.
It's so creepy
It
and
hurts
weird.
my head.
Yeah, I didn't like it. So Vegeta starts talking about how he can transform into a monkey. If he transforms into a monkey, he'll win.
How the form detests him. But
Yeah, but there's a problem, Vegeta. The moon's been blown up.
Yep.
And is this the part where he goes around looking for that moon?
Yeah, he flies around. He's like, "Where's the moon?"
Where'd they hide it or something?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they hid the moon, dude. Nailed it.
That's so good. King Kai basically recaps everything that's happened up to this point and then says how the only chance of stopping them is with the Spirit Bomb, even though we kind of already know that. Like, he just sort of spills the plot. Then it cuts back to Earth, and Vegeta's like, okay, the moon's gone, but that's no problem for me because I'm a Saiyan. And then he gives this huge, long monologue about how, yeah, so you need a moon to transform, but sometimes there's planets without a moon. So Saiyans developed a technique where we can channel energy. So the deal is, the reason they turn into apes is because the sunlight bounces off the moon and hits them, right? But they obviously don't turn into apes when it's just sun. The bouncing off of the moon adds a form of like radiation or other energy called Blatt's wave.
You wrote Blatz?
Yeah, what did you watch?
All right.
What did you watch? What did you write?
He says Blunt's waves. But here's the thing. In the games, they call them Blutz waves.
What?
So Blatz waves or Blunt's waves. So BL insert
Character.
vowel
Yeah.
waves.
Yeah.
TZ waves.
TZ waves.
We'll call them TZ waves. Why not?
TZ waves is way better, actually.
So, yeah, he explains how TZ waves, how they can create TZ waves by channeling their energy and then firing the energy into the air, and then it mixes with the atmosphere
Yes.
of the planet.
Yeah.
Which there are in every game that I've ever played, and I think in a different dub, and also in the original Japanese, when he tosses the energy, he says burst open and
Okay,
mix.
I was totally lost because I've played the games a lot more than I've watched the anime, and he always says burst open and mix. Like, there's even a close up on his face when he does it.
Yeah.
And there wasn't. There just wasn't in this version. There
Didn't
was
say
no
it in
like
that
close up where he could have said it. There was no weird mouth movement. He just didn't say it.
He didn't say burst
And
open
I was
and mix.
waiting for it.
But he did explain
Yeah.
what burst open and mix means.
Yeah, which is great because like in the games, I was clueless.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I thought it was a weird translation thing.
Uh-huh.
It's just like burst open and mix must mean something very different.
No,
in
but
Japanese.
the original show is actually really good about coming up with like explaining their contrivances.
Yeah,
you know?
So he explains the contrivance, but then he doesn't say the contrived thing. You don't understand.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So that happens.
so he does it. He bursts opens and mix, and then it cuts to Gohan and Krillin, who are like really far away. I don't even think it shows them at this point looking at what Vegeta did. It just cuts to them, and they're like flying to Kame Island.
Oh, that's right.
They just check in for a couple seconds, and then it cuts back to Vegeta as he transforms under the radiation of his own energy ball, and then the episode ends because he's a big old monkey now.
Yep.
Episode 32, the English title is Spirit Bomb Away. The Japanese title is Battle Power times 10, Vegeta's Great Metamorphosis.
I wrote the one where Goku gathers pixie dust. And I know why, but I'm sure I could have had a better title of that. I think I was just in a rush.
Of your titles, that is a little weak, but
yeah.
it's true also.
It is true.
So it starts off with Krillin and Gohan, and it's actually really eerie. There's a really nice score to this part where Krillin and Gohan are looking at the artificial moon that Vegeta's created with his energy, and it's really, really far off in the distance.
They're just chatting.
And they're just chatting about how, like,
we got to get out of here.
We got to get out of here.
Yeah,
and
we gotta
Gohan's
get out of
like,
here.
no, we're not going to get out of here. we're gonna go and fight.
Yeah, he puts on his big boy britches.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. A really cool moment for Gohan because this is the first time that he's done it. He's always had to be made angry before he makes a decision, but this one he's just like, no, I can tell my dad's gonna need help. We are going.
Yep.
Krillin tries to talk him down, but doesn't work, and they charge toward the artificial moon.
Which apparently they were planning on flying all the way to Kami House. I guess flying is now stamina free.
Yeah, like
I guess.
Well, kind of, maybe, because later on stuff happens that I'm like, if it is stamina free, why aren't you flying right now? I don't know. I don't know the rules.
I don't know either.
The only thing that I could think of is they don't look as battle worn as some characters later on.
They should
fly, but they should.
They were just in this big.
No, they cleaned up. They were underwater. They took a bath. They went underwater for.
They had half a sensu bean, so they can fly.
Oh, there you go.
800 miles.
Yeah,
no problem.
That's a lot of stamina in that bean.
That's true, actually. So they fuck off back towards the moon. Back to the main scene. Goku has a flashback.
It's my favorite part of the episode.
To where he was a kid and turned into a giant ape. And he realizes, oh, shit, I'm the monster that killed my grandpa.
Yeah. And it's like legitimately a little heartfelt. Like,
yeah.
Like he didn't skimp on the voice acting for this part where I could imagine in an anime them skipping over something like this, especially in the middle of a battle. But like it gets a little dark when he realizes that he's the one that killed his own grandfather. And it's really good for them to acknowledge that. But yeah, so everybody in his life has been hiding the fact that when he had a tail, if he saw the full moon, he would transform into this giant ape, and it's caused problems before.
It's a long con Gohan's monkey tail moment.
Yeah.
Because we ask questions like, how come nobody just tells the guy?
It's because they didn't want to give him the grief.
There we go.
Yeah, he gives him a little, like his grandfather, a little bit of a eulogy. Like he says, sorry for everything, you know. And then like 3 people say that Spirit Bomb is the only option because we haven't had it hammered into our heads enough yet.
That's right. Yep. Goku realizes that he is not going to have time to charge a Spirit Bomb.
Yes.
So he hits Vegeta in the face, big monkey Vegeta in the face with a solar flare.
Oh, it's awesome.
Real nice.
Yeah.
It was real cool.
It was like, is this the first? It's not the first solar flare, is it? I couldn't remember another one, but
Oh, Krillin does it to Nappa once.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Solar flare is an ability that just blinds people.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned that before, but
it's very effective.
It is. It's so freaking effective because it blinds him and now he can't do anything. So Goku starts charging up the Spirit Ball.
And is this the first time we see it? A Spirit Bomb?
I think it is.
Because we've heard about it a lot.
Yes.
Up till this point, but I think it's the first time we see it. And Goku's like, you know, people of Earth, every plant, gather, lend me your energy. Is he actually talking to people? Is he actually using telekinesis?
We'll get there.
I'm so confused about how
because he doesn't do that.
This energy is finding its way.
He gathers it from the trees and the plants and the animals and the oceans and just the earth itself.
Okay.
For now.
Okay.
For now.
He says like, oh, I only get one shot at this. I have to make it count. And at this point, I know he's going to whiff it. Like, I just know it in my heart of hearts that he's going to whiff it.
Yeah. Yeah. So Vegeta finally wears the solar flare flash grenade, wears off of Vegeta, and he starts looking around like, where is he? I can't find him.
Who does his monkey voice? Is that still the same voice actor?
It's just him. They just super pitch lower it.
Because
he made it sound like this instead of this. You made it sound like that. And then they lower the pitch button.
It's wild. He also seems to have like full control over himself.
That's right.
Which is like, I guess, something Elite Saiyans can do or train to do or something like that.
Sure.
Because he seems totally like lucid and everything.
Yeah, calm, collected. I don't know about calm. Collected at least.
Like almost instantly as he's charging up this Spirit Bomb, Vegeta just whacks him.
That's right. Does he tail whack him?
I can't remember exactly what it was, but my note is, yeah, you did a really bad job. Because he just like flies off and that's the end of it. Like there's no more Spirit Bomb.
Yeah, that's it. He's charging it up and then he gets smashed. Vegeta blasts a mouth beam in this part. And at this point, I think it's easier to count the number of characters that have not fired a beam out of their mouth. I don't know why this surprises me so much. This is an orifice. We talked about this. You fire a beam out of.
Yeah, but it's weird.
But it's still weird.
It's the weirdest place.
Out of every other option.
But it is
belly
weird.
Button beam. That's also equally odd. I would imagine belly button beam in my book is equally as weird as mouth beam.
Sure.
Great ape mouth beam makes sense to me.
It's
in like a
very
Godzilla way.
Sort of. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody else mouth beam though. It's like, why?
It's just weird.
How come?
It's so weird.
Vegeta goes in for the kill with a one-finger death punch.
I wrote that down too. One-finger death punch. Wait, this is a little bit after he like stomps Goku's legs.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Goku gets whacked out of the air while he's charging the Spirit Bomb, and Vegeta stomps on his legs and breaks his legs.
And I felt it. It was bad.
He makes some sort of crack.
Apparently, I accidentally squashed both of your legs. Good one, Vegeta.
Never mind.
It's not good.
The only cracks there are in Goku's bones. And then Vegeta goes in for the kill with one finger. He's going to bring it down on Goku. He's going to poke him with the finger.
Yeah.
And Goku reaches up and blasts the shit out of Vegeta's eye.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
It was really awesome. He uses the last of his energy to poke him in the eye.
My favorite beams are the ones with no preamble. The ones where they just beam instantaneously. There's no charge or anything. They just beam. They just do. And it's great. That's my favorite kind of beam.
Sure, you could call it a Deus Ex Machina, but I choose to believe it's a well-planned, preemptive attack that they've been saving up for the past couple minutes.
Oh, so like 5 minutes ago when he was charging the Spirit Bomb, he knew he was going to fuck it up, and so he's been holding energy
just in case. So he puts some energy in that old foot of his to save until he needs it, and then he just pushes it all the way up,
and it just fires it out of his hand.
Yep, every time.
And then Vegeta picks him up and starts squeezing the shit out of him.
He does. I wrote, if Vegeta doesn't have eye damage when he turns back, I'm going to be pissed. Also, like, seriously, Ape Vegeta is wailing on Goku at this point, and it's like a lot. It was a lot for me.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what Sean Schemmel was going through.
Oh, he screams.
Yeah, it's like in pain. Goku is in pain getting beat up by this giant ape. It's awful. And the episode ends.
They're mainly grunts when he's just in a fight, and he's getting hit. But this is different. This is like slow roll murder torture.
Yeah.
It's like
it's uncomfortable. Krillin and Gohan are not there yet, and the episode ends with him just getting beat up.
Yep.
It's a whole 20 minutes, and they haven't shown up yet. Episode 33, the American title is Hero in the Shadows. The Japanese title is Don't Die, Father. This is the depth of Gohan's power. Well, because see, the first sentence is Gohan talking to Goku. The second sentence is somebody else saying, this is the depth of Gohan's power.
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
I don't. Fuck it. My title is The Only Time Vegeta Will Ever Look Tall. Vegeta continues to squeeze Goku.
Yeah, Krillin and Gohan are very far away still.
It's still very far away.
They're not close at all.
And at this point, Goku has been squeezed for easily 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Of screen time, I mean. And that's 3 minutes of Sean Schemmel just screaming.
Yeah.
It's a very long time to hear Schemmel screaming. I like Schemmel scream.
But it's a long time.
I don't like that much.
It cuts to Yajirobe, who's still in the bushes, just watching him. And I just want him to go away. I want him to not be here anymore, doing absolutely nothing to help Goku or anybody, and having no reason for existing at all.
He has like an internal monologue going on where Yajirobe says, "There's not a whole lot I can do to help you, Goku. You wouldn't mind if I just leave, right?"
Yeah, he does it like 3 times in this episode.
So he's having like an internal struggle a little bit, or else he would have just left.
I appreciate you defending him, but I'm too angry to accept
He's
it.
Still a piece of shit. I'm not going to argue against it because he really is. But Gohan and Krillin arrive.
Yes.
Finally.
They decide to duck down into the rocks to avoid being seen by Ape Vegeta.
And they run into Yajirobe.
Yes, they do.
Who tells them to leave. Just go home. It's bad. And they're like, no.
Yeah, Krillin's on board now. He's not trying to talk Gohan out of it anymore.
Yep. Krillin says, you two distract the big giant monster, and I'm going to cut off his tail. Because that turns him back into a person.
Yeah.
And Yajirobe says, you guys couldn't kill him when he was just a human, and now you're going to try and kill him as a giant monkey.
Well, not even kill him, but turn him back into a human.
Yeah, so that he can just be your size, but then also beat the... All right.
Yeah.
So they try that.
They got to try something.
They're going to give that the old college try, which is more of a try than I gave actual college. Random animal cutaway to birds.
Yes, random shot of birds. It's weird and totally unwarranted.
Yes,
but there it is.
Yajirobe is like, he's given up at this point. Doesn't he just drive away? He gets in a car.
He gets in a car.
He throws a capsule
and it turns into a car.
And then he drives away.
Yeah, finally.
God, you hate Yajirobe
I hate him so much.
So Gohan is distracting the big monkey.
Yes. And
runs up to his crotch and screams. That sounded odd. He runs in front of him and screams up at his monkey face. Says, leave my daddy alone.
Yeah, he says daddy again, actually, which is weird.
Yep.
Because he's been saying dad up to this point. Meanwhile, Krillin is charging up his Destructo Disc, and he lets her fly, and the aim looks true, and at the last possible second, Monkey jump. Vegeta just jumps out of the way, and I just want Destructo Disc to work so badly because I think it's going to be awesome, and I just want it to actually land.
Vegeta just jumps out of the way, probably because when Krillin. I'm going to be grilling Krillin here for a second, actually, because when he throws the Destructo Disc, he says Destructo Disc as he's charging the energy.
But that's just a thing of the show, though. You can't totally put that on Krillin because seconds before, Gatlic Gun was uttered out loud by Vegeta.
Goku knew, though, that was coming.
Yeah, but that's the question. Do you need the sound? Is it like Harry Potter where, like, it's easier to do the thing if you shout the name, like if you have some kind of muscle memory to trigger it, and then like if you get really good, then you can do it without saying a word?
Is that why Krillin can't do it without saying a word?
He's a human being that's launching a razor sharp disc of energy. That's impressive. He can also fly.
Yeah.
And he's just a normal dude.
Yep.
That's cool.
All right. I'm not a Krillin fan. I'm on board with the...
You're Krillin. You are Krillin.
I am not Krillin.
If you put dots on your head, you could be Krillin.
That's all it takes.
Well,
you also have to cut off my nose.
I mean, you're not wrong.
See? And then also about 2 feet off of my body.
He's very short. So Destructo Disc misses. Vegeta's like, haha, I'm going to win. And he starts crushing Goku even more. And out of frickin' nowhere, Yajirobe slices off Vegeta's tail.
Woo!
With his sword.
The one thing Yajirobe ever does ever.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Yajirobe finally did something.
Yeah, this is the last thing that we saw. I thought they were going to give it away. I really thought they were going to.
Yeah, it was actually surprisingly well done because you don't know that it's him at first. It just happens.
Yes.
He loses his tail and then it cuts back to Yajirobe afterward.
It's pretty goddamn awesome, actually.
For a show that is obsessed with telegraphing what it's going to do, this was one moment that I was really impressed.
Seriously. For a show that the Japanese titles are so hitting you over the head with the stuff that is about to happen in the episode, it's nice that didn't happen.
Yeah. Monkey Vegeta transforming back into regular Vegeta was pretty neat. It was like an Animorphs book cover. They actually
they put some effort into that.
Yeah, it was like 20 different slides of the transformation. It was neat. And now Vegeta's back to normal. And I'm just really wondering what their plan is.
Yeah, at this point, that was their whole plan,
Vegeta's not dead. He just doesn't have a tail anymore.
Yes. So Vegeta, who is still Vegeta, because he's still a badass.
So his eye's still injured, which is cool.
Yes.
And then he just starts kicking the crap out of Gohan and Krillin.
And I think he headbutts Gohan, and Gohan has a bunch of blood on his head afterwards. Yeah. I'm like, ooh, it's moments like that where I'm like 6 years old. Ooh,
yeah, he's just a kid. Up. In fact, it cuts back to Chi-Chi for a while, and it's like terrifying.
Oh, Chi-Chi goes full Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah,
where she is just staring, not making any reaction whatsoever.
Totally non-responsive.
And then she goes full Stockholm and just starts, yep, my son's fighting. Fight him. And starts cheerleading for Gohan.
It's really weird. And then she knocks the crystal ball across the room and it starts rotating. And then it's like there's a close-up of Gohan's face through the crystal ball as it rotates. And then it fades into a normal.
Which was nice.
It was a cool transition.
I like that transition.
It was a neat scene transition.
Yes. Goku telepathically reaches out to Gohan.
It annoys me that telepathy is a thing.
It annoys me that they don't explain how it's possible.
Maybe it's just all Saiyans because Nappa and Vegeta did it before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but anyway.
I don't know. Fuck it.
They do have a nice father-son moment until Vegeta comes out of nowhere and knees Goku and makes him cough up blood.
Did you write down his line that he said?
No, what did he say?
He says, being a good fiend is like being a photographer. You have to wait for the right moment.
Oh, yeah. My note was, what does Vegeta know about being a photographer?
Maybe that's who he really is.
I really want him to have a little side hobby.
Maybe he was never actually the Prince of Saiyans.
He was a fiend and a photographer.
That's his fighter cosplay.
Yeah.
That's what he becomes when
really
he puts on the uniform. Yeah, it's like his WWE persona.
Oh,
maybe you've never seen his photographs. Maybe
That's the thing.
Ooh, he's just the universe's best photographer.
But when there's a fight to be had,
then he puts on the Saiyan guys and he becomes the Prince of all. But otherwise, he's like, move a little to the left.
Vegeta's a good villain in this episode. He's chewing the scenery. He is on top of everybody. He is just killing everybody. He is just wailing on him and gloating and making you feel like you want to see him get his comeuppance, which is great.
And then Gohan finally gets pissed off and 1v1's Vegeta, bro. Headshots only.
Yeah, so they start fighting Vegeta and Gohan, and they're kind of hitting blow for blow. Like,
They are
fairly evenly matched.
It's pretty impressive. It's really impressive.
Yeah, Gohan is again pissed.
Yes.
He's mad because, Vegeta is screwing over his dad. Meanwhile, Goku talks to Krillin
telepathically,
and is like, Krillin, dude, you got to take the spirit bomb. And Krillin's like, that doesn't make any sense. You were holding it this whole time where you almost died. You held on to it somehow. And Goku's like, yeah, dude.
I held on to a little bit. He says, I held on to a little bit. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's a decent point.
Most of it got away.
Most of it got away, but I got what I could. And my question was, why wasn't he trying to hand it to Gohan? But he was trying to hand it to Gohan during their pep talk. They reach out their hands.
Oh.
They almost touch, and that's when Vegeta nails him in the stomach.
I never even noticed that. Oh.
He was trying to give the spirit bomb to his son.
That's pretty great, actually.
Yeah,
okay.
Is. But Vegeta ruined the plan, so he had to go with Krillin. And he's like, pep talking, Krillin, you can do this. And he hands it up. They make hand contact and the energy transfers, and Krillin's like, whoa, dude, this is super weird.
That's a lot of energy.
Yeah, but he gets the spirit bomb. And then it goes to a weird, it transitions to a painting of him standing there. It's really cool.
Oh, that's right.
The very last shot of the episode is really awesome.
As a Krillin fan, it's real good service for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Krillin's a good character, god damn it.
He is. He's a good hang on. I'm not going to insult him. I'm trying to come up with a good He's a good support guy. He's a good wingman.
He is.
He's a really good wingman.
He's like the ultimate wingman. Episode 34 is called Krillin's Offensive. In the Japanese title, it's called Shoot Kuririn, the Genki Dama Packed with Hope.
Woo.
I'm guessing the Genki Dama is the spirit bomb.
Yeah, we talked about that the health energy ball.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I do remember this. Yeah.
My title for this one is the one where I didn't make a title because I was busy wiping the saliva off my wallet after the seizure this episode gave me.
A lot of flashing lights in this one.
A lot of flashing lights. Yes.
So we cut, this is another one where it just continues right where the other one left off. Krillin is in disbelief that he is holding all of this energy. And I just want him to do it. I want him to be able, Goku's like, you got one shot. I know you won't screw this up. You can do it. Hit Vegeta with this spirit bomb and it'll all be over. I believe in you, buddy. And I just want him to be able to do it. And I know he's going to fail because it's setting him up to fail by saying how important it is. And that's always the case with this show.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You're right. That really is kind of a recurring theme is if they emphasize importance of a certain thing, chances are it's going to fall.
Yeah. It's all about the surprise that comes after.
Yes. So speaking of a surprise, Gohan fires 20 Masenkos. Yeah. Which is really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so obsessed with the beams, but he fires off beam after beam after beam at Vegeta, who is just dodging them. Good job shooting beams, idiot. You can't hit me though. Following that, Pink Eye starts to talk to Krillin through magic telepathy energy.
They do cut to Kame House for a second before this, and so Chi-Chi and the Ox King are having a conversation, and the Ox King is like, I don't know if Gohan's gonna make it, Chi-Chi. And Chi-Chi just starts crying.
Oh, yeah.
So the kid's grandpa is like, nah, he's probably going to die. You know what? We can start yelling. Yelling helps. It makes us feel better. And so they just start yelling. I don't know exactly what he's trying to accomplish there.
I don't know why he exists.
Yeah.
Still.
But in this moment, it's actually kind of cool because Chi-Chi's super sad. They're not sure if Gohan's going to live. And the music, there's this cool piano cue that comes in that's really nice. Yeah. And then Chi-Chi starts strangling Baba, and Baba just doesn't have shoes on. I thought that was weird. It's bare feet.
She's just bare feet underneath that witch's robe because
her whole character, and then she shouts her magic catchphrase at the crystal ball.
Boogly boogly boo. Just some bullshit.
It feels like she belongs in a different show.
Yeah,
and it's because she does. She belongs in Dragon Ball, where all that magic and fantasy adventure live, and this is a sci-fi martial arts show.
Yeah, but we're still in that transition.
It's still in the transition.
It's have you ever seen the D&D meme where it's the first time you all sit down together and you all have these super serious characters, and then the last time you're on the bridge of a spaceship and one of them has a cat hat or something.
It is like that.
It's kind of like that. Yeah. It's just the same characters. They're just all coming through.
It's cool to be able to see this transition.
Yeah.
But yes, then Krillin and King Kai finally have a heart-to-heart.
King Kai admits that he has really strong feelings for that spirit bomb.
Oh, man.
That's right. He says, dude, that spirit bomb, It's going to kill Vegeta real good. It's going to kill Vegeta super good. But you'll know when to throw it. Don't try and throw it just out of nowhere or when you feel is right. That Spirit Bomb will tell you.
Yeah, just trust it.
You'll know about my Spirit Bomb.
Just moving right past this because it's making me uncomfortable. Krillin has a bunch of indecision during this sequence, and like I feel like it's me. I feel like I would feel the same way if I had the villain killing weapon in my hand.
Well, there's so many openings.
Yeah.
Like what you would think are obvious openings. So you are not certain as a viewer whether or not Krillin is fucking this up because Vegeta is still toying with Gohan, and Vegeta, after a certain point, stops screwing around and just starts Gatling blasting at Gohan. And there's a really cool shot where Vegeta fires a whole bunch of Gatling blasts, and you can see it's Gohan, but kind of a tiny speck of Gohan as you see these blasts fly up and around the cloud of blasts that have already existed, and they spiral around like the flares off of an AC-130, and they just
it is really
come
cool
right after Gohan. It's a really amazing, like they spent a lot of time on these blasts in this shot, and Krillin's, oh, should I be throwing this now? Should I be throwing this now? Because his back is turned. I could be throwing it now. I could be throwing it now. No, King Kai said to wait.
Yeah, so he keeps waiting and waiting and waiting.
Epilepsy warning.
Yeah, seriously.
This is the part. I think Vegeta has officially worn out Gohan at this point. Gohan is just running from all these blasts. Gohan is continuously running from these blasts. He's still running from these blasts. He doesn't really get hit with the blast so much as he keeps getting tossed around. And Vegeta is like, all right, that's it. I'm going to murder you now. And just goes straight for Gohan, leaves himself wide open. Krillin has a moment where it's one of those, it's animated like a line is drawn through the middle of the screen and it goes,
oh,
and
yes.
Goes, oh,
yeah. And then Yajirobe pops up and is like, hey, Krillin, what are you doing? Why don't you run away with me?
Throw the ball. No, he says, throw the ball, you idiot. That's what he says. He says, throw the ball, you idiot.
Yeah,
and that's when Krillin throws the ball. Once he has Yajirobe's approval, because everybody's so afraid of what Yajirobe's going to think.
Freaking hate Yajirobe.
Krillin throws the ball. Vegeta turns around and goes, what the hell is that thing?
Yeah, because Yajirobe shouted, hey, Krillin, throw the ball.
That probably...
freaking Yajirobe, man.
Or the giant glowing blue
No,
orb.
shut up. It's Yajirobe.
It's Yajirobe's fault. So he turns around because of Yajirobe. Vegeta does the exact same kind of jump that he did as a monkey over the Destructo Disc an episode ago, over the Spirit Bomb. And it goes right between his legs, and the Spirit Bomb's heading right for Gohan.
Yeah.
It's going to blast Gohan in the face. Goku, in the span of 0.1 seconds that Gohan has to react to this,
they have a conversation.
They have a nice little conversation in true, like, Dragon Ball Z fashion, where you shouldn't be able to have a full conversation.
Yeah.
In this brief half-second slice of a frame of a second, he says, Gohan, bounce it back.
Which I hate.
Just bounce it back,
because
you dummy.
wouldn't it have been so much cooler if they didn't just telegraph it and it just happened and you were like, oh.
If Gohan just held out his hands like, I know how to handle this.
Yeah.
Like he has some sort of battle sense.
Like he's not
a dumb
trained
little
with
idiot.
Piccolo for the 6 months. Yeah.
Yes. But no, Goku has to tell Gohan.
Yep.
He makes a point of saying, if you have no evil in your heart, you can bounce it back.
Yeah. And then it cuts to commercial.
That is what happens.
It does the act break thing.
Yep, right then.
Which is very funny. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible time to do that.
But it gives me time to go to the fridge and get some Lay's potato chips. Lay's potato chips. Now at your local Walmart. Everywhere.
Now at your local city.
Yeah, now everywhere.
Anyway, it cuts back and then Gohan does the thing. He's able to successfully reflect back the Spirit Bomb.
Yeah, he is.
Right into Vegeta's face, and oh my god, Vegeta's face in this scene.
It's good.
It's so wild.
At this point, we now kind of are starting to dislike Vegeta. He's crushed our hero.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of crushing.
Like way more, he's done more damage to Goku than anybody has at this point.
Far more masochistic. Or sadistic? Sadistic.
Yeah, sadistic.
Than Nappa was. Nappa was a dick. And he was screwing around with our heroes like they were playthings. But he was like a big, dumb kid. Vegeta is like a cat playing with its prey.
Yep, that's exactly
way
what
more
it is.
Sadistic. He's saying
playing
things
with toys at this point.
Yes, he's saying things like, "I'm going to take pleasure in squeezing the life out of you." Says some other really horrible shit to a 6-year-old kid. And so now we get to see this fuck get his comeuppance. and he gets blasted by the spirit bomb.
Yeah.
Finally gets struck with it. And
he's
this is
gone.
the true epilepsy warning, is this part.
Okay.
Because this is like 20, 25 seconds. There's 2 different scenes. And this one's like 25 seconds where your eyes are just, I don't have
They're just
epileptic
bombarded.
seizures. And I was like, oh,
I was a little worried about it. I felt like it was doing something bad to my eyes.
Yeah.
Like I could feel it just sort of, it wasn't good.
Like you have to go renew your prescription for glasses now.
Yeah.
Like,
so I avoided it for sure. And then it cuts back to Kame House where the crystal ball shatters. And there's this like long scene where they talk about what they're going to do next. And Oolong the pig the entire time has his hands down his pants.
What?
Did you notice that?
No.
The entire scene where they're like, we can put the crystal ball together so we can watch the fight. Do you have any turbo glue? Well, what if we just fly there in the airboat? The whole time Oolong doesn't have one line, but he has his hands down his pants the entire
I didn't notice
entire
that.
scene.
Oh my god,
it's weird.
Incredibly odd. And then Korin shows up.
And then Korin the cat shows up. He's like, because Master Roshi comes back, he's like, I found glue, and then a voice says, but is it turbo glue? And then it cuts to Korin the cat with a stick that is in the entrance to the doorway for no reason at all.
I don't even know that Korin knows Kame House exists.
Yeah.
So, okay.
It was weird. It was really weird.
Well, I guess it was reported that somebody had caught Korin's water before, and I think maybe it was Master Roshi, or it's like alluded to that maybe it is. I can't 100%.
Okay, anyway, it cuts back to Goku, Gohan, and Krillin.
Who were rightfully celebrating.
Yeah, they are happy.
Yeah.
They defeated the villain.
Finally got that Vegeta son of a bitch with that spirit bomb thing that's been 10, 20 episodes lead up. They finally did the thing that all these episodes said they were going to do, and they did it. They did it. They finally did.
And then Vegeta falls on the ground.
And then Vegeta falls on the ground. He fell from space, right?
I really do wonder how high do you think it took? Because it was like minutes.
Yes.
How high do you think he was that he had to fall so long and then be fine also when he hits the ground?
Yeah, that's what I thought, is how tough are Saiyans?
Yeah. Super tough.
Yeah.
Tonka tough.
Tonka. Now it participating. Wait, is Tonka a toy?
Yeah, it's a brand.
Is it a real truck company that also makes toys?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Get back to us, Tonka people.
We want to work with you.
And we'll plug your whatever it is that you make, because we don't know.
Krillin approaches Vegeta's corpse and says, at least now we won't have to look at his ugly face anymore, as he's looking at Vegeta's ugly face. And then Vegeta opens his eyes and says, whose face is ugly?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he was trying to get a witty retort or if he really just wanted to be in on the conversation.
If there's one takeaway, it's that Vegeta's not so good on the one-liners.
Yeah.
He's really
terrible,
not.
actually.
Vegeta is me trying to make stuff up.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You're a level of improv.
That's what it is. Yes, exactly. And Vegeta then slaps Krillin in the face so fucking hard that Krillin coughs up blood for maybe 30 straight seconds.
Yeah.
Like, he slaps him in the face.
Yeah.
He bitch slaps him so hard that he coughs up blood.
Well, Vegeta hasn't really laid his hands on Krillin like a normal human being before.
No.
So it like just goes to show you how
strong this bitch, his pimp hand is. It's very strong. He doesn't even have rings.
Yeah. And then he decides to do one more power up because he's not quite dead yet. So he does one more attack. This one doesn't have a name. And
it's just like 2 episodes ago when he was buried in rocks. He did the and breaking out of the rocks.
Yeah, right.
He blasts his energy everywhere.
So he does that again.
He tries to do that again to kill everybody. And I say tries because really it does the same thing his previous barrage of blasts did to Gohan. It just kind of knocks him around a little bit.
Pushes him away.
Which I appreciate, actually.
Because
the line immediately afterwards is Vegeta says, I didn't have enough energy to complete the
that's
attack.
true. Yeah.
Which is cool.
And
he
doesn't have enough energy to continue, like, do another one at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, they actually do acknowledge that he's like at the bottom of the barrel here.
Yes.
His hair after that scene, by the way, is
so
just
crazy.
bonkers.
The person I'm watching it with is like, is that his hair? Are we watching Sonic? I'm like,
it's just all over the place.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Psychotic.
Way worse than it usually is.
He has bedhead to the max.
Yeah. Vegeta realizes that his attack hasn't really killed everybody. He goes up to Gohan, and Gohan has a monkey tail again.
Oh, so before he gets to Gohan, he has the most sinister, I'm hurt, but I'ma kill ya walk.
Oh,
which is He's just very slow, lumbering, arms
towards
down.
everybody else that's like laying in the ground, pretty much dead.
So lumbers over, and Gohan has a tail.
Gohan has a tail again. For the third time in the show, the tail is regrown. Vegeta seems very surprised that Gohan has his tail back.
It's one of the cut away the zoomy pan.
And Goku has never had this problem. Vegeta apparently has never had this problem, nor any of the Saiyans that he knows.
But Gohan just keeps sprouting tails.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
This is the third time that we've seen a tail on him.
And like, that's it. Vegeta's freaking out. He grabs Gohan's tail and like, it ends. The episode ends. The narrator asks all the right questions. Like, why does Gohan have his tail back? Why is Vegeta so freaked out about this when he was so calm and collected before? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z, because we're cutting this episode off early. Episode 35, the American title is Mercy.
It's a nice, sweet, short
It's actually
title.
good.
It's solid.
I like it, especially given the ending. The Japanese title is Cause a Miracle, Son Gohan, the Super Saiyan.
What?
Yeah.
Is that really what it's called?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Spoilers, that doesn't happen. He doesn't become Super Saiyan.
I think that this was before they knew what Super Saiyan meant.
I didn't come up with a title for this one, so I'm just going to make one up.
Okay.
The end.
Of the first part
of the first part of the series. Damn it, let me do the thing. You cut me off.
Damn it, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, this is fucking ruined now.
This episode starts with the crew in the airboat, except for the Ox King and Oolong, who stayed behind. Chi-Chi, Master Roshi, Korin, for some reason, and Bulma are in their airboat flying towards where presumably Goku, Krillin, and Gohan have won the day. Except then it cuts back and they obviously haven't.
All.
So Vegeta's worried about Gohan seeing the fake moon that is still in the sky that I've completely forgotten about at this point. Yeah, that's it. So
it's still floating there.
Yeah, he actually does say
it'll last about another hour.
It'll last about another hour. So he does actually give it a time limit.
He's about to murder Gohan.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, again, Yajirobe slices through Vegeta's armor.
I don't understand Yajirobe. I don't get him.
He strikes when the moment is right.
I think he just wants the credit and the easy
He is
kill.
my hero.
Because he just eats and lounges about until he sees an opportunity.
And then he takes it.
And he gets all the credit.
And he makes a huge difference. Yes.
I guess technically that's true at this point.
Boom!
But,
win for Yajirobe.
Except he doesn't go for the kill shot, so
which is weird. So he slices Vegeta, and Vegeta reaches around, oh, my armor, and then he hits the ground, face down.
Yeah.
And Yajirobe starts like, oh, I did it. I killed the big bad guy. Yeah, I'm the best. And then Vegeta he twitches a little, and then he starts getting up. And there's maybe 15, 20 seconds where Yajirobe could be murdering Vegeta.
Yeah,
because Vegeta is slowly getting up. Like, he can't get up fast because he's hurt.
Yeah.
Which is what allowed Yajirobe to cut through his armor in the first place.
Now that he's up on his feet, Yajirobe missed his chance, and Vegeta knows what's going on.
Yes.
Yajirobe tries to do the kill shot and sweep and stab and slice, and Vegeta blocks every shot.
What, he doesn't block, he just weaves.
There's actually an awesome shot where Vegeta's not even weaving, he's just walking normal. And Yajirobe is like trying to get him around, and it's just not working. It's so great.
And oh my god. Vegeta punts Yajirobe away.
Yeah, and it's the most satisfying thing.
It looks awful. It's what I would imagine it looks like if you took a Burger King hamburger and then you punched it.
All right, explain.
Burger King. Now available.
What are you doing?
No,
it's neither here nor there.
No, it's nowhere really.
The Yajirobe burger goes flying into some rocks, and he lands in a really stupid position that he never picks himself back up from the entire episode.
It's like when you were an 8-year-old kid and you were trying to do like a roll backwards thing, and you just got stuck on your neck, and then you're like, "Help, Mom, I'm stuck." But he
totally
doesn't
did
move.
Happen to me.
Yeah. It's a universal experience, really. And so that happens to Yajirobe. He can't get up, and Vegeta walks over and just starts punching his face over and over and over, and he's got blood coming down, and he makes the worst sounding noises. What I wrote a thing down. I wrote down he makes the worst noises. I thought I put something better. Goku is dead. Krillin is incapacitated. Yajirobe is hurting. Vegeta is like, I've totally won the day. And then he goes, oh shit, the tail thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Oh man.
Damn.
I was so distracted.
Darn it. And turns around. And at this point, this is weird. This has always struck me as odd. Gohan's clothes burst off him.
What did I write? Gohan's shirt blew up.
Yeah, that's what happens. Gohan's from his chest, like just his chest, his shirt.
Yeah.
It just pops off.
It
doesn't rip off. He doesn't burst out of it.
It just puffs up.
It's like you put a firecracker over a piece of paper, and that firecracker just burr.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. It's a weird way to illustrate that he's becoming Ape Kid.
So telepathically, Goku tricks his kid into looking at the big ball of light and transforming into a monkey.
Yeah, that's what happens. Goku he just knows that his tail is back.
I don't know.
So he says, "All right, look, kid, son." Look at the ball in the sky.
He doesn't even say you're going to turn into a giant ape and kill Vegeta. He just says, look at it. Mm-hmm. Just keep looking at it.
Just look at it, you idiot.
And then his shirt blows up. And then Gohan transforms once again into a giant ape. They realize that they can't control what he does because Gohan's like, he's got that sort of rabid streak. He hasn't learned to control it, just like when he was fighting Piccolo a few episodes ago. Goku and Krillin, independently of each other, are like, we got to find a way to make this monkey Gohan listen to us. And they bring back the plot thread of Goku being able to talk to monkeys from when he talked to Bubbles on King Kai's planet, and is able to, like, because Krillin's yelling at Gohan, it's not doing anything. But then when Goku does it, it's fine. Before Gohan can attack them, they get him to turn around and start attacking Vegeta. Vegeta single-handedly deflects a giant ape, despite the fact that he was just barely completely out of energy, but he's able to repel one of the giant Saiyan apes all by himself.
He punches Gohan in the face.
Yeah.
He jumps up and punches big giant ape Gohan in the face. I thought that was a pretty fucking baller of him, actually.
And then he uses Destructo Disc, which he's only seen the one time, I think.
Yeah, he stole it.
And is able to learn it effectively enough to actually chop Gohan's tail off.
Well, that raises a question. What is Ki Energy capable of actually doing?
I don't know. Apparently it's able to, you got the Tri-Beam, which is different than it's
trading your health
blast,
but yeah,
which is different from a Destructo Disc.
So is it just the way that you're focusing it?
I guess you're sending it out into the universe somehow. So you can shape it.
Yeah.
I imagine it would take some doing.
Yeah, turn it into, it's in some ways it's like the Green Lantern ring, where you can shape it into certain things,
but it's taken from you.
Properties, but it's housed within you. It's an energy field. It's the Force, but it's not the Force.
Yeah,
because
is it visible?
Life, it is,
or is it just visible to us as the audience?
It's visible because it brightens things.
Oh, that's
when
true.
It comes out.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's an actual presence. It's a physical thing, but it's non-physical until it strikes you because. I don't know. It's so confusing.
We need more data.
We do. We'll get additional data. We'll come back to this.
Oh, it's all worth it though. Vegeta being a total badass for no reason, and I mean, he's earned it, but he's supposed to be like almost dead, but then he's not. Because as he Destructo Discs the tail, gravity comes back into effect, and Gohan ape that is transforming back is descending, and Vegeta's like, I can't dodge this, and the giant ape falls on him. Right on top of Vegeta as they hit the ground.
And it happens in that order.
Yep.
Vegeta, aha, I have cut off your tail. I'm turning back into a kid. Smash.
Yep. And then there's a shot of naked Gohan on top of Vegeta.
Which is equally iconic in my book.
Yeah. Vegeta takes a calculator out of his pocket that he had the whole time.
He does some math equations on it.
Some math equations on it. And then it cuts to my favorite part of the episode, which is the government team from E.T. inspecting the Saiyan pods. And I'm not exactly joking, because it's actually really cool to bring it back to the real world after so long removed from it.
Yeah.
Like there are independent, like, governmental entities involved in this alien fiasco.
Yeah, don't they say something as they're cleaning it up? They're like, let's get this bagged and tagged before somebody shows up and tries to say that it never happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to cover up. So it's really cool to, like, cut back to, like, the human groundedness, all of it. It's ridiculous, but it's just nice to know that other things are happening on the planet.
Yeah, to be grounded a little bit.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just a tiny, tiny bit. And then it flies off into space and totally breaks the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Which I kind of enjoy that, actually.
It's fine. So the Saiyan pod lands and Vegeta's literally crawling into it. So he's given up. At this moment, I feel like we won.
Yeah.
Like the heroes won, because Vegeta's turning away from a fight, which means more than him dying.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's the pride thing.
He straight lost. He could have died and still won.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he really lost.
They got him to retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Krillin is like also almost dead, but he's climbing down from the rock wall because he sees Vegeta trying to make a run for it, a crawl for it, and he's like, I gotta get him. I can get him.
Krillin can be the guy this time.
Krillin can be the guy. Krillin wants to be the guy.
So hard he wants to be the guy. He's had multiple opportunities to be the guy.
Yeah, and he just doesn't. He gets so close, but he's not Goku, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, even freaking Goku can't be the guy this time.
Yeah. So he gets Yajirobe's sword and runs over to Vegeta and like is gonna stab him and he's gonna end it. And it's like, yeah, you killed all the friends for everything you did for Earth. Like this ends right now.
Vengeance.
And honestly, if Vegeta died right here, I'd be okay with it because it felt earned. It was cool.
But the way that sentence starts, you know that he doesn't die.
So it cut, and initially I was disappointed in this because the last time I saw this scene was in DBZ Kakarot when we were playing the game. So Goku telepathically stops Krillin from stabbing Vegeta, and in the game he says, "Let him go. I know I don't have any right to ask you this, but I want to fight him again someday." And
That's
Krillin
right.
is like, "Okay." And it's dumb, and I hated it. And so I thought this was going to be the same scene, but actually, it's the best part of maybe the entire arc, the culmination of like everything that we've seen up until this point, and a perfect demonstration of who Goku is versus who Vegeta is. So he says like, no, don't kill Vegeta. Show him what it means to be merciful.
And Krillin says, I don't think he's the kind of guy to learn a lesson like that. But I love that retort.
Which is great.
Perfect.
Krillin is totally in his right mind, and I was totally on Krillin's side at this point. The next point that Goku brings up is, yeah, but remember how evil Piccolo was?
Yep.
Which at the beginning of the show, episode 1, is true. You don't see it quite as much as you do in Dragon Ball, obviously, but I think it still hits home for people that have only seen Dragon Ball Z. Like, you know that Piccolo was a bad guy, and you saw his transformation to becoming good. And Krillin's like, oh yeah, I guess, but I don't know. I think he deserves to die. He killed Yamcha, you know, he killed all these people. He killed our friends. We got to do something. And then Goku says, but I am also a Saiyan. Think of how good I am and how good of a protector I am. If there's any chance that someday we can give that chance to Vegeta and someday he'll turn and be on our side, like we got to give him the opportunity.
It's just Goku earning his right to ride that cloud.
The actual Nimbus cloud?
The Nimbus cloud. Because if you can only ride Nimbus if you have a pure heart.
Okay, I did not know this.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, that probably made no sense to you then at all then, huh?
They haven't really, Nimbus has been in it, but they haven't talked about it.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, this is coming up way late. You have to have a pure heart.
Which is great. It earns his place as a hero. It shows not all Saiyans are bad. And there's a chance that Vegeta might turn someday, and like what separates the heroes from the villains. By the end of that monologue, I was totally convinced that letting Vegeta go was the right thing to do. And that's like a very hard thing for a show to be able to do.
It's hard to convince somebody that revenge isn't the sweetest thing.
Yeah. And Krillin is totally the audience surrogate for that.
He really is.
And Goku, I think, effectively convinces him to go the other way.
So he does. Krillin says, I hope you know what you're doing. And even King Kai is like,
yeah, exactly.
Omnipotent God, King Kai.
And Vegeta at the time, like, gets in the Saiyan pod and he's like, I'm going to come back.
I'm going to come back to this planet. I'm going to murder every single last one of you.
Yeah. And then he leaves. So, and that's where it ends. And like the narration takes over and is like, they did it. They won. But there's more coming.
There's bigger evils out
there.
King Kai even says, like, if only they knew what was in store for them next. Just some shit like that.
It's like a season finale vibe, despite the fact that the box set I have still has 4 episodes in season 1.
Technically, yes, they're still a part of it-ish, but no, we're gonna call it here.
Yeah, I think it feels it's the end of the Saiyans. From here on out, it's like, okay, what do we do now? How do we handle the aftermath and the epilogue?
Also, it's 5 episodes perfectly for us. Yeah. It just fits.
It just fits perfectly. So we're gonna call it here for the Saiyan saga, and next episode will be the saga in review with Eric, where we're gonna retell him all of the stuff that we have talked about, hopefully in an entertaining way.
I have a plan.
Okay,
I have a plan for this.
Okay, next time on Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z.
Yep,
Eric is gonna be here. And we're going to go through the plot of the Saiyan Saga with him for the first time. Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z. Next time on Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z.
Thank you for listening to Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z. You might hate the show, but he loves that you're listening to it. And if you'd enjoyed listening, consider giving us a review or rating on iTunes.
If you have any questions or comments about the podcast, the episodes we've just covered, or the episodes we'll cover in the future, feel free to contact us via email at mail, M-A-I-L, at ehdbz.com, or on Twitter using the handle at EricHatesDBZ. For those listeners out there who might want to show their support and let us know that this podcast is something you want to see more of, consider heading on over to our Ko-Fi page at ko-fi.com/EricHatesDBZ. We just recently recorded our first live movie commentary, and that was, it was an adventure. That website again is ko-fi.com/EricHatesDBZ. The opening and closing themes for the Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z podcast were done by actually Spencer and myself at this point, because listen to this. That's Spencer's voice. That's him doing it, so it's not just me anymore. But if you want to find more music by me, check me out under the name Burn7 on SoundCloud. Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z is part of the Rocktopus network of podcasts. For more entertainment from our team, check out our sister podcast, Tales of Nowhere. It's a genre-bending tabletop RPG podcast where we take one cast of characters through multiple games and rule sets to tell one epic story, with a healthy dose of comedy thrown in. That podcast can be found at talesofnowhere.com or wherever you decide you want to listen to it. Thanks again for listening to us. This is the part where I'm supposed to do a pun, but I'm really bad at these. So, like, Nappa is a guy, but also it's like the thing where you sleep a little bit when you're tired. So that's a thing, right? I did it.